Have this subway near home. Hang around it when I was about 13 with some friends. Has a really weird layout because the pedestrian walkway leading to the entrance is right by a road that would lead to a vehicle entrance. But when you reach the pedestrian entrance, the road entrance is just a brick wall. When you come out at the other side, there's a sharp 90-degree turn for pedestrians to go back up to ground level, but nowhere a vehicle could possibly go even if the entrance wasn't bricked up. It's just a meadow that's level with the road. Anyway, like I say, hang around this place with 3 friends, on the meadow side. Friend goes for a piss one day. Shouts that he's found something. Earth has come away from the side of the subway where the vehicle part is, and there's like a big railway sleeper running along it, partly exposed by the dirt and the rest of it still covered. It's all rotted, and when he accidentally stood on it he broke a chunk off. Try to look inside. It's a big open space behind the bricked up wall that runs the length of the subway. Can't really see what's inside because it's too dark. Curiosity gets the better of us. Pool our resources. Have like £5. Go into town that's only a few minutes away. Buy a shitty torch for £3 and a pack of batteries. Get back to opening. Shine torch inside. It's too shit to really illuminate much. Convince friend he should go in. Tight as fuck squeeze even for a 13-year-old, but he gets inside. Says there's lots of junk piled up against the opening. Gives a running commentary on what he can see. Then goes quiet. Comes running back desperately trying to get out the opening. Pull him through. Says there's someone in there. Tell him to fuck off, he just got spooked. Arm comes out of the opening flailing around. Shit ourselves and run away. No idea how they got inside because one part was bricked up. The other side we just uncovered half an hour before. Somehow a man seemed to be living inside the whole time. Forgot to mention that the subway isn't there now, nor is the vehicle part. They filled all of it in to make a car park and a road crossing. Street view doesn't go far enough back to find a pic. It was the weirdest thing though. I still have no idea how he could possibly have gotten inside. Even if he'd slipped in through the opening when we were in town, it was far too tight for a fully grown man to get through. My mate was still a child and not a big lad, and even he struggled. One side of it was the subway wall for pedestrians and the other was a wall too. The only way in or out was through that opening. I still think about it when I pass by and wonder how the fuck he got in there along with all of the junk. I met a general contractor one day that told me that there were tunnel people living in a connection of sewers and prohibition tunnels under downtown Vancouver. He said that he stumbled upon them when working in the basement of a historic movie theater. He found an entrance to the tunnels under the stage. He says that there are crude wood buildings down there, and that the tunnel people are very hostile. They're like hills have eyes status homeless people that have been living down there since after Prohibition. He offered to take me down there, and said we would need shotguns. Never took him up on the offer. Since hearing the story, several people downtown have confirmed that there are in fact tunnels. The only alleged entrance I've seen is a wood-covered entrance facing the Columbia River next to the 5 Bridge. There's graffiti on it that just says entrance to hell. Be me 2017. Drinking beer in a small public garden. Need to piss. Find what looks like an abandoned pump room of some sorts. Go piss in the room. Notice that there is a stairway going down underground. Go down about 4 stories, pitch black. Luckily I had my smartphone to provide illumination. Looks like an abandoned World War II bunker. I start exploring room by room until I hear rustling coming from the far end of a corridor. Needless to say, I booked it out of there in a heartbeat. Do some research on the area. The bunker was in fact a nuclear shelter. Find out that the roof was covered with asbestos at one point and part of it collapsed. MFW something unknown down there prevented me from staying down too long and breathe in too much toxic dust. Be me. Be small child, around 6 years old or so. Live in suburban neighborhood. Go to play outside with cousins. There are two massive pipes that are used to drain rainwater so it doesn't wash out the houses/road. Pick related. Peer into the dark tubes. Feel ballsy so takes a step into them. Tiny heart jumps to 420 BPM because darkness is terrifying. Work up the courage to walk deeper into the tubes. The light from outside is basically a small blip behind me at this point and I feel like a tiny badass. Decided to be a giga chad and yeet a rock as far as I can into the tunnel because why not? Rock soars into the darkness, not making a sound. Confusion. Throw another rock. Hear nothing. Remember that I'm not stupid and I had brought a flashlight. The light illuminates nothing of interest, just the tunnel spanning indefinitely. Throw a rock while pointing the flashlight. Can't explain it very well but it's almost like the rock just faded from reality before it hit the ground. Mega Chad powers initiate and I begin walking towards where the rocks were disappearing. Hesitate just enough to hear wind coming from down the tunnel. Realization.exe. It isn't wind. It's multiple people whispering. Super Saiyan Chad instincts leave my body. Turn around and get my butt out of that pipe before my amazing tiny self pieces out of existence like those rocks did. End up moving years later and never going back. There's an old half-torn down school on the airbase outside of my hometown. The supposedly haunted old grain silos about a quarter-mile away get more attention. But the school is what me and my friends were obsessed with. We had gone in during the day and poked around. Finding the typical cringy graffiti teenagers make in places like that, like Screw God with the anarchy symbol. And All Hail the Zodiac Killer, stupid stuff like that. We wanted to go in at night but didn't want to break our necks doing it. Which ended up being a smart choice, since there were holes in the floor that went all the way down to the basement. Which seemed to have about just above ankle deep standing water at the time. We didn't get really freaked out until later, when we went back at night. And as we're psyching ourselves up to go in, some kind of early 90s blue Ford and a gun rack pulls into the empty parking lot. Its lights cut right through the windows and made it hard to see much. But it spooked the heck out of us. We got the frick out of there. But the truck followed us around the airbase for the better part of half an hour. Turning on its high beams and tailgating us. And then turning their lights off completely and acting like they were tailing us. In spite of it only being the two cars on the road at that hour, plus the airbase being, abandoned. We're just glad we were still in the car and not inside when they got there.